Alright guys, back again. Thank you for liking and subscribing my previous video. It's FEMZ again, for guys who don't know FEMZ. So let's just dive right into it. We're gonna be talking about verses, okay? So not verses like song lyrics or sentences in a song. I'm talking about VS, VERSUS. I'm talking about the intermediary between two dueling entities. Now, why am I talking about this? What was the point? You promised us you were going to talk about the cultivation of organic power, and I promise I'll do that, okay? That's on the agenda, it's on the syllabus, but right now, I was just really compelled to talk about the state of the world, which is a battlefield. And I'm going to explain why it's a battlefield, because it does have a lot to do with art. And you should understand that art is not limited to fine art, liberal art, or literary art, okay? Anything that can be done in this life that comes from an internal creative energy is art. So the people who created the programs for basically siphoning souls for money. I mean, hey, the game is the game, but the people who do that, they might not necessarily be artists in a creative way. They may be artists in a destructive way, but all I'm saying is that the versus nature of things will bring art alive, and I'll explain more. So let's say we have a shoemaker, right? He's a cobbler, he's an artisan for the art of shoemaking. He makes the shoe, right? That already required a lot of internal processes, a lot of skill downloads, right? That was his artistic journey, and the shoe is his domain expansion, right? You still need to interact with forces of business to make commerce happen, which is the art of business. And that can only happen when there's a society in place. So the art of bringing people together, the art of keeping them safe, the art of allowing their minds to be settled enough to undergo a creative pursuit, those are all arts. The art of security, the art of development, the art of tracking data, the art of, community, that it sums up to politics, the art of politics. Where should this school be? Where should this group of people do this and that? But it's still battles against nature. There's still the art of maintenance. There's still the art of knowing when to let a bank fall. There's still an art of knowing when to let a monopoly run rampant in your society. And all I'm saying is this society we live in is just an extension of real nature, raw nature, which is versus. It's a battle because even under the guise of peace, you're participating in your country's events, and your country wants to expand its domain. Trust me, your country wants to expand its domain. It wants more land, it wants more resources, it wants more manpower, it wants more energy, it wants more people with the capacity to do work. Literally, like, it doesn't matter whether you want more bricklayers or you want more quantum physicists. Look, you need manpower on your planet, or in your space, in your community, and the fostering of that talent, and even the fostering of the talent of taking that talent, either by force, either by diplomacy, either by whatever the fuck. I don't care. It's a battle. And you need to develop certain characteristics to survive in this battle, right? In this war we live in. And those are the arts you develop. So there's some secret arts, there's some public arts. Let's say you go to class and in standardized education, you get your basic, education in the sciences, you get basic art of science and stuff, but there's still the art of card counting, there's still the art of prostitution, there's the art of pimping, there's the art of the whole dark side of the world. Like, who is teaching these guys about organized crime? Who is teaching them how to form syndicates? Who is teaching them how to, it's not something you can just dismiss. Some people are born into these families and are taught the ways of crime the same way you're taught the ways of servitude and serfdom. So you cannot dismiss anybody, because at the end of the day, you're gonna battle them if shit goes left. So I hope I've been able to, okay, let me not just leave it there. Let me not leave it there. Let me even take it to biology. Let me even take it to your own body, right? You look at yourself, you can operate, you can do all these things, right? You don't need to worry about your cell replenishing. You don't need to worry about thousands of cells that die every second, right? Because you're in a state of war. Your body has leveled up from every system and added the necessary systems in place for it to have a state of equilibrium or homeostasis. But that's not guaranteed, because nature is always on your ass, Decay is always on your ass. Death as agency is always on your ass. The DAA, the death as agency, is always on. The DA is always on your motherfucking ass, okay? You're gonna die one day, and that should be an agency to see what you can do with what the length of your bones, the syllables per minute that come out of your mouth, the ability for you to scan the room faster than anybody else, the ability for you to strike deals faster. Like, these things, right, they aren't developed willy-nilly. Some people may be talented, right, but there is a certain level of preparation that is needed before you can sacrifice cells and burn trillions of cells. Thousands of years of battle have already occurred. We passed the Neanderthal stage or whatnot. My point is this, okay? Like, everything that's a big level, anything that can exist in our visible sphere, at the minutia, at the like cellular level of it, is a constant battle. Now, obviously, when we were first starting society, people could have been banging out the 7 deadly sins, and the church banned the strategies of lust or sloth or leeching off mooching off of these traits, right? They've been warning people, but look, it still applies today. You can make money off people's lust. You can make money off people's greed. You can make money off people's anger. It's just there. It's just available for you to attack and plunder. But there's also a different path that involves the cultivation of yourself in relation to your environment. Now, we can look at mountain goats, and how even when they just come out of the womb, they still got that, like, embryotic fluid all over them. Their mom is already nudging them towards the mountain so that they can learn how to rest their C of G on the rocks for the proper development of muscles and the bones to acquire the right density, and all these other little things that are not spoken about anymore because I have no clue. So I want to speak about these things, right? And what are the things you have to ask yourself? What makes me as a Homo sapien special? Don't look at next man. That guy is a human like you. That guy is a creative monkey like you. You don't need to look at anybody. All you need to do is look at yourself first. You know, I'll talk about formation of parties and groups later, but right now we're still in caveman times. We're still realizing that, oh wow, like I'm really being attacked on all fronts. Like the half-life, you know, of my shit is taking place. Like I'm losing I'm not old by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm just imagining like how springy I was as a child and how versatile versus how much more rigid my options are. Even though I hit gym and stuff, you start seeing the fact that okay, I'm having to make trade-offs here, and at certain points, like anyways. So back on the cultivation of, you know, basic strength for living life, I believe the qualities that make Homo sapiens special is the opposable thumb as opposed to claw. The eyes at the front of the head, you know, for like hunting, and having a kind of unilateral angle of center of vision, and the ability to just endure, like literally through persistent hunting or sweating and cooling off while still moving. You know, those biological modalities do affect your cognitive ability. They do, because you are your body. Like all that separation is just a way to make you docile for programs to enter the schisms that have been created in your head, the fissures that they made. You need to calm your ass down and realize that, like, if you're hypokinetic, if you're lazy, you're gonna have lazy thoughts. If you you are what you do. You are what you do. You are living in a place that is ruthlessly logging in all your keystrokes, and it's going to give you the according result. So that is your aura. That is everything I've just explained. I've just explained aura, right? Like, people can tell whether you have an intuitive understanding of rhythm from the cadence of your steps, breath management, all these little things that you don't get taught in school because you're in a human society and the police is there. So the big bad monster under the bed is a serial killer. It's not your own inability to twist at certain velocities because you're worried about your hip. You know, it's interesting. I mean, this may not be a message for old people. As I said, I'm interested in my contemporaries who want to. I don't know what I want to do with my contemporaries yet, okay, but I just want to know that I'm not alone in this method of thinking, and I'll talk about the cultivation of power after, because the video is getting quite long for newbie standards. So let's just cut it short here, alright? Safe.